Ladies and gentlemen, so a massive shout out to the legendary dataminer Otriux, who has, kept me a very busy man this evening. We've already done a couple of videos breaking down the early datamine abilities and also synergies for Nick Fury and also the brand new version of Captain Marvel. And Nick Fury looks so badass, man. I cannot wait for him. And Captain Marvel, she looks a little bit interesting, a little bit promising as well. But I think, it's fairly safe to say that all of the hype, especially in the YouTube comments, is with Nick Fury at the moment. But, we'll see what happens there. But anyway, who's got time for those new champions, ladies and gentlemen, when Gamora is apparently scheduled to be getting a little bit of a buff, and I certainly did not see this one coming. But this as well, being in the datamine files, we could not see it next month. It's much more likely that we're going to see it the month after. So just have the expectation that we're probably not going to see it next week. It's probably going to be a month and a bit, because just before December, all of the stuff with like Electro and Shock Immunity, and the Nebula and the small changes that were made to those characters were actually datamined with Darkhawk and Night Thrasher, but then they didn't come out for another month and a bit. And also last year we saw some stuff on a Hulkbuster buff that never really came around, so there's a chance that this could take a while to come in the game and it might be delayed. But this might give you a bit of an idea what's going to change with Gamora and what also might be added to Angela and Guillotine via some of the new unique synergies as well. So some really cool stuff. But anyway, let's get into it. We got the brand new signature ability, Godslayer Strike. So Gamora begins each fight with a Godslayer Strike ready, and each special attack, I assume depending on the signature level, has a chance to activate this strike. And once used, the strike has a cooldown, I assume again corresponding to the signature level as well. And it does different stuff depending on the special. So the special 1 has a higher crit damage multiplier, so this will be, I assume, quite good for short bursty fights there. The special attack 2 has some sort of armor break associated with it, which increases potency, duration, and also ability accuracy if you have the Godslayer Strike ready. And the special 3 inflicts a shock debuff, which is going to deal hopefully a ton of energy damage and does double damage versus robots as well. So that can be very good, for the final chapter of Ultron's assault potentially there. And then we also have kind of brand new Fury and Cruelty mechanics there. So I assume this is like chance maybe on hit or maybe a special attack or a certain attack. There's a chance to gain a Fury and also a chance to gain a Cruelty, which is, attack and crit damage rating. And the longer you're in the fight, the more duration these buffs have. And it looks like as well you can use a heavy attack to refresh them. So it kind of makes Gamora a little bit of a ramp-up champion because you can keep on refreshing them. Hopefully they stack as well. So that could be, really interesting if those turn out to be quite effective buffs and stack quite nicely as well. And we also have a 100% chance to be critical. I assume that relates to the special attacks because her special attacks are 100% crit chance at the moment. She's also going to have some sort of new way to gain a true strike as well. So yeah, it depends, how she gains that, how long it lasts for, as to whether or not that's going to be very useful. But true strike, man, is generally an awesome mechanic that works very well for a lot of champions. So yeah, you can ignore all auto block, evade, ignore, armor, and resistance. So yeah, it's a very good time there. But that's pretty much it. I feel like we're missing a fair bit of information. So just due to the fact that I feel like we're missing so much information, I kind of feel like we're not going to see this next month, but the month after, I would say. So there's a possibility that like mid next month as well, there's some sort of Gamora beta, like we had with Spider-Gwen and She-Hulk, and I think it's relatively likely that next Wednesday, or when we get the patch next week, we are going to see hopefully the Spider-Gwen and She-Hulk buffs go live, so fingers crossed for that one. But now, in terms of an additional layer of excitement, we have the brand new champion synergies as well. So we've got Cybernetics upgrade, Godslayer Strike recharges faster, and special attacks gain more attack as well. So that one seems pretty good. Don't know who that one is with, though, but we have one with Nebula, a brand new one, Sibling Rivalry. So this gives Nebula her first special 1 or special 2 each fight has 100% critical chance. I don't think this is going to be doing too much for Nebula there, but you know, it's not bad. And Gamora, robot opponents suffer minus ability accuracy for each cruelty buff on Gamora. Again, this could be something that just makes that absolutely insane for Variant. However, I guess, you know, thinking about this one again, like Nebula, you can't have Nebula and Gamora in the final chapter, so I immediately retract that statement. That's not going to be good for Variant. But, you know, maybe robots outside of Variant, that might be somewhat useful for. But yeah, we'll have to see on that one. Not going to work in Variant, though, because Nebula is tech and limited to the second chapter there, so I'm glad we realized that before somebody pointed out, you know, to my dumbass in the comment section. And then finally we got a new one with Angela and Guillotine, and I think this is the one I'm probably most excited about, because Angela gains additional Fury and Precision buff potency, and there's also already a Morningstar synergy which increases duration, so Angela having even more powerful buffs depending on the percentage of this could be game-changing for the character. It could be a really big damage increase, and excellent for the final chapter of Variant because she's a cosmic character as well, so you know, got that going on for her. But the Guillotine one is very interesting as well. 50% chance when striking a bleeding opponent to gain a soul charge, and the cooldown is 10 seconds, so you can pretty much gain a soul charge every 10 seconds. Again, combined just in game at the moment, if we have a look at the Morningstar synergy, this increases the soul expiration from 10 seconds to 20 seconds. So kind of combined with that synergy as well, and the fact that she's still gaining souls as you chip the opponent down. And then if we throw in the Night Thrasher synergy for even more crit rating as well, and consider Guillotine's awakened ability, all of this stuff actually might make Guillotine a little bit interesting there. So I'm very curious to see this one, because this could be a bit of a game changer for Guillotine. She's kind of needed more ways to get souls for such a long time, and again, I prefer that this stuff was just added on base to Guillotine, but this seems like a very nice thing to have. And also the bonus for Gamora is she gains more attack if at least 30 seconds have passed during the fight. So yeah, a bit of an interesting one. It kind of looks like they're gearing Gamora to be a bit of a ramp-up champion, but yeah, seems like a pretty cool synergy there. But again, the Angela and Gamora ones do very much depend on the values. So that's all of the stuff that we got on the Gamora buff at the moment. Does look quite interesting. It just looks like she's being geared up to be a very hard-hitting champion with a bit of true strike and armor break, but obviously a tremendous improvement potentially over the current state of Gamora, who is you know, now a very underwhelming character. So, you know, if you've pulled a 6-star Gamora, it could be happy days, but don't get your expectations too high. And again, I would expect that this is not going to be in the game for at least like another month and a bit, but there is a chance it could be in the game next week. So we're going to have to wait and see on that one exactly what's going to happen. But more champion buffs, man, it's a great time. I love it when champions are being buffed. I love that they're ramping up the rate, and I love that just after the Spider-Gwen and She-Hulk beta last week, we already get to talk about more champion buffs, not only for Gamora, but Guillotine and Angela via the synergies. So yeah, all in all, a bloody good time, lads. I'm proper happy about that one. Now, one of the reasons I'm actually so happy about this Gamora buff is ages ago, and it was like past 12.0, I think when we got the rank down tickets, I fully maxed out my 4-star Gamora, so if she gets buffed, we've got her ready to go for the gameplay videos. And just to give you a bit of an idea of, you know, what Gamora does currently, if you're not already aware, we've got the signature ability, Assassination, and this is good for, like, you know, 1 special attack per fight. So it gives us special attacks currently at 99, a 50% chance for Gamora to strike an Assassination blow with her Godslayer blade, guaranteeing a critical hit and granting 700% increase in critical damage multiplier, but this can only occur once per fight, so it's one very hard-hitting special. And currently the special attacks as well have a 90% chance to inflict bleed, dealing, I think this is approximately about 200% of her base attack over 5 seconds there, so it's not a bad bleed by any standard. And then the special attack 1, 100% crit chance, special attack 2 also has 100% crit chance as well, and finally all attacks currently have a 10% chance to provide a very, very potent cruelty. So I think, you know, with the addition of all this additional utility and a fury buff that ramps up throughout the fight and stacking cruelties as well that you can refresh with your heavy, combined with true strike and armor break, I feel like it's going to really add kind of a nice additional dimension to the character. But again, from the abilities that we've seen so far, I feel like we really are missing out on a few things that Gamora is going to be able to do when she's buffed, and she's got some, you know, very, very nice base stats at the moment in terms of crit rating, crit damage rating, attack, a little bit lower on the block proficiency as well. So yeah, overall, man, I'm very, very excited for the Gamora buff. Can't wait to see it, but also the Guillotine one as well, because I've got a 6-star Awakened Guillotine. This could be hopefully the game-changing synergy that actually makes her a pretty good champion. But yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see on that one. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think of the brand new champion buffs in the comments section below. Apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.